Hello and welcome to an album a day, day 261 of going through my vinyl collection. Today we're going back to 1973 for this 45, and we were just talking about this, I believe, on the Deep Purple podcast live stream for an upcoming episode. We're doing the Who Do We Think We Are rankings, and I was in the chat on that, and we talked about this 45. This interesting thing about 45s though is that with albums, you have a lot of reissues. With 45s, you typically don't. So the year that it was issued is pretty much the year that you're going to have. So that makes things easier. But this one's interesting because it is from the Who Do We Think We Are album, and it is Super Trouper on Purple Records. Really cool song, one of my favorites on the album. And you know I hate the F word, but I will say it is a favorite. It was one that I, from the first few times hearing Who Do We Think We Are, immediately I put to the top of the list of ones I would listen to over and over again. And that's kind of how I judge that. Did I have that upside down? I might have. There you go. There it is. But on the back side, they go back to Deep Purple and rock, which is really interesting. And unfortunately, this 45 is not in the greatest of condition. It plays well, but there is a little bit of damage to the inner ring, but not enough to ruin the structure, make it slip off the holder or anything. It's just in one spot, so that makes it fine. But they went with Bloodsucker for the B-side. Which is interesting. Instead of doing anything else, instead of doing Smooth Dancer, Our Lady, anything else off of Who Do We Think We Are, they went back to Deep Purple and rock. Now, Purple Records didn't exist when Deep Purple and rock was made. It wasn't formed until the Machine Head era. That was the first album that came out on Purple Records. But, or I should say the earliest time frame Deep Purple. I don't know about the order of releases, but that would be the earliest Deep Purple LP on Purple Records was Machine Head. And so, yeah, it's kind of interesting that they went back to that, but they're both great songs. Love Bloodsucker. They would redo that on the Abandon album. I'll get to that on Deep Purple Smoke on the podcast. In the meantime, this week, I'm finishing up my series on Slaves and Masters, getting ready to start The Battle Rages On. So we've got bonus track today, bonus track on Thursday, Battle Rages On starts on Friday. Tomorrow, episode, Hask and Kaz podcast. You guys have been asking when this was going to air, and you really have. I'm not making that up. People have really asked me when the second part of my album review with Kevin Brown from his multiple list of podcasts, when we were going to get into the songs off of Taylor Swift's 1989 album. That starts tomorrow. So make sure that you tune in for that. It is midnight Central Standard Time, 1 a.m. East Coast, 10 p.m. tonight Pacific Time. Check that out. Let me know what you guys think. I think this is going to be an interesting one because people have very strong opinions, but I don't know whether they know why they have strong opinions. And we get into that in our conversation. We talked about that in the last episode. So if you haven't checked out our pre-discussion of the album and our history with Taylor Swift and all of that, go check that out. But the new one comes out tonight or tomorrow morning, depending on where you are. So anyway, you guys have a wonderful day. We'll see you tomorrow for another vinyl. Which will it be? Ooh. So you guys have a great day. Cheers.